You ready? Let's call this meeting to order. This is the City of Doraville City Council zoning meeting located here at City Hall in Doraville. This is the meeting for Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Let me, before we start, please let me take this time to tell everyone to silence your cell phones. Doraville is proud to be a city of civility. While differences of opinion are natural, let us approach each other with open minds, speak with courtesy, and treat one another with dignity and respect. Respect is the foundation of good governance, and we thank you for upholding the spirit of civility with us. Let me call the roll. Mayor Geierman is not present. Councilmember Evans?
Here.
Councilmember Ray?
Here.
Councilmember Simmons? Here. Councilmember Nasser, Councilmember Armistead, Councilmember Henshaw.
Here.
We have a quorum. At this time, please let me ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. May I have a motion for approval of the meeting agenda?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Henshaw, a second from Councilmember Evans. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. At this meeting, we do not have any proclamations and recognition, so I will move into public comment. So now is the time for public comment. If anyone either present or on Zoom wish to speak, you have a total of 3 minutes to speak. Please ask that you state your name and address for the record, and same thing for everyone on Zoom. So we will start with anyone here present at City Hall that would like to come up to the podium for any public comment. You're more than welcome to. All right, no takers, then we'll switch to Zoom. Isabel, anyone on Zoom? All right, so Susan Frazee, you have 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name and where you live and have at it.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Susan Frazee of Oak Cliff Estates, and I have an announcement from the Friends of the Doraville Library. As is our recent custom, our Friends Open House will be held on the first Saturday of February 7th, at 10:30 a.m. at the Doraville Library. This year, the plan is to follow the open house with a Friends Board meeting to discuss ideas and plan our activities for the new year. As always, our open house is an opportunity for members of the community to get together and formally join or renew their memberships. It is also a rare opportunity to meet on a Saturday morning at our interim library location, which is 2421 Van Fleet Circle in Doraville, right next to the other departments of the city, such as the space where you all are in the council meeting tonight. This open house will offer light refreshments and a chance for everyone to meet each other, see our interim location, and offer ideas and suggestions about our activities in support of the Doraville Library during the coming year. Everyone's ideas are welcome, so please come prepared to share them. You're also welcome to stay for the Friends Board meeting, at which time we will elect officers and make our plans for the new year. Our president, Charlene Fang, will prepare an agenda for the board meeting, and she welcomes your input. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on Zoom? All right, we will close public comment and move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
I got a motion from Councilmember Ray and a second from Councilmember Nasser. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving right along, reports and presentations, we have none at this meeting, so we'll move on to unfinished business. Here to present CUP-25-07 is the Director of Planning, Austin Shelton. So
Thank you. Okay, so our only case tonight is some unfinished business from last month. This is CUP 2507. Making sure I talk into the microphone. And it is an amendment of a previous CUP that was given for the business Wind Club at 5090 Beaufort Highway. So the applicant is requesting to amend some of the conditions that were put on the property as part of the CUP from 2023 that was approved in October 2023. Wind Club is a billiards hall. And I don't think I was clear on this last year, but just to clarify, the conditional use permit that was given in 2023 was not for the business itself. It was for their accessory alcohol license. So the accessory alcohol license is the ability to have serve alcohol in the establishment without needing to have food sales or service. So just to clarify that. So here's the 6 conditions that were put on the property as part of the CUP in 2023. The 2 that they're asking to amend are number 4 and number 5. Number 4 limits them to or forces them to close at midnight as opposed to 2 a.m., which is what our alcohol ordinance states for every other establishment. And then number 5 is limiting them to beer and wine sales and not allowing them to get an alcohol license for distilled spirits. Here's where it is on just an aerial image, south part of the city near Metro City Bank and Shallowford Road and Beaufort Highway. And here it is on the second floor of the establishment. Some photos of the exterior and the interior. And then this was part of the discussion last week. So we, and by we, I mean Albert, went and looked at the alcohol licenses for the other billiards clubs that are in the city. So the first one, Red Fox over by H Mart, their alcohol license is for beer. They have a license that allows them to have beer, wine, and spirits. And then their hours of operation and the number of pool tables. Amigo BR on Beaufort Highway, they're licensed only for beer. They also came to the city for an accessory alcohol license a couple years ago, if y'all remember that one. And then finally, Wind Club, they're restricted to wine and beer per the conditional use permit, and then their hours of operation as well. So staff are recommending denial, and the reason again being is that the conditions that were put on the property in 2023 were for the business model as presented by the applicant at that time. As far as we're aware, none of the conditions of the business have changed. This is just a request from the applicant to the council to amend those conditions. So Planning Commission also recommended denial. Let me know if you have any questions for me or the applicant.
Okay, thank you. And I know the applicant's here, so at this moment in time, if you guys would like to come up and say anything, you're more than welcome to. If not, we can get into the questions from council. But come on up to the mic, state your name, where you from, and go.
Here first, my name is Sean Wynn. I help manage the Wind Club with Billy, the owner. So of course, after a whole month of reconsideration, everything, of course, he's definitely learned from his mistakes. Just, kind of request, like, if we have the opportunity to, do everything properly this time at a whole new year and just kind of go, the opportunity just to kind of open till 2 a.m. because if y'all didn't know, Red Fox actually closed. So a lot of their guests are coming to the Wind Club now. And so of course it's bringing more business, but then of course, they're used to the Red Fox with the liquor license and open till 2 a.m. So yesterday I kind of kick off like a few guests out the door because we're not allowed to open till 2. So I'm not sure if that will play an impact because with the new guests coming in, of course, they're coming from all over the city to come to Doraville to go to, Red Fox and everything. But now they're coming to us. So it's just trying to see if we could get opportunity. And I understand like last time, Councilmember Evans mentioned if, one or the other. So it's really just right now, like, even if I feel like, if we get both, great. But if it's just one or the other, at least give us an opportunity to showcase that, hey, we could go by, what the city of Doraville wants and kind of just showcase that, hey, we are, well, the owner learned from his mistakes and want to start fresh and kind of move forward to better his establishment. And of course, now with more business, is just trying to figure out a time without kind of pushing people away from the city and stuff like that. So, but thank you.
All right. I guess before I open up for council questions, I have a statement, a few of my own. Obviously, the applicants did tell, Austin, this is mainly for you, my questions. They did state whether they want, if it was choice of one or the other, we hear what they want to say. Red Fox, I was gonna say, what are their food sales versus alcohol and why they had all three, why they were permitted for all three? Do you know? Because that might have been before your time, but I just didn't know. Okay. And my other question was why did they have liquor? And then I know in the past council meeting we had on this, we talked about requesting for the wall to be taken down for that back room. But I still think it personally that they should have room for storage of something if that was open. So storage closet roughly you would think is what, 4x7 or 5x7, or do you have any idea for favorable terms? Because I guess next question would be for you guys. You come on up. Do you store your alcohol back in that room? Or where do you store your alcohol?
So there's a smaller storage unit right behind the bar. So we kind of have a
The kitchen,
yeah, the kitchen.
Okay.
Yes. So of course that's where, the mop and,
mop sink.
supplies.
Mhm.
So we do have a fridge to keep the beer and wine, well, less wine, but more beer. So it's pretty small, but then that extra room, of course, could be the lounge or actually storage unit.
But you do have storage in that kitchen area for your beer
It's
and
very
wine?
tight though, but we
Okay.
do have one, but in consideration, if we do have a liquor license for the extra liquor coming in, then we'll probably move everything into the store.
You can't have liquor though.
Not yet, right?
Okay.
Hopefully. But if we do, then that's where we're gonna use it as a storage unit situation, because like I said, the one behind the bar is really tight and small, because there's a sink back there for the mops and everything like that.
Hmm. Okay, that was really it. So let me start with Councilmember Ray. I'll start with you.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you guys for being here. Give me 1 sec. I want to get back to a picture here. You're only. Yeah, sorry. I'm going back to the other billiard halls example is what I'm trying to look at for a second. So alcohol license for beer only, hours of operation till 2 a.m. Okay, yep. Yeah, so I think really my main question I think would be, well, I've got one for Austin, one for Cecil. Austin, I think you were here with the initial CUP for this. What was if you can recall, what was the general logic around the midnight closing time compared to, I know it was a conditional use permit, but compared to other billiard halls, what was the sort of reasoning behind that?
I don't recall.
Okay. And then, you mentioned you guys have made some mistakes and you want to learn from them. I want to believe you in that, but I am curious with Cecil, when it comes to these conditional use permits, let's say, we grant them some or all of this, and we find they are still breaking the rules, still having a poker game in the back or something else. Are those grounds to revoke the CUP or what happens there?
Those would be grounds to revoke the occupation tax certificate. So if there's a violation of the condition of zoning, that would actually be a violation. And actually, we could go after not only the CUP, but the occupation tax certificate.
Okay.
Do business.
Awesome. Okay. So then I'll just share my comments and thoughts on this and then pass it along. For me, the midnight time is fairly arbitrary. It's not consistent with other pool halls. So I'm definitely in favor of letting them stay open till 2 a.m. like the other pool halls and keeping that consistent. And then in the same vein, Red Fox has closed. That was the one with a liquor license. So I think I would be more in favor of keeping it to beer and wine for now while we kind of look at the overall city stance on alcohol and bars. That's something we've discussed when it comes to the entertainment district before. And I think I'd rather have a more solidified kind of plan and stance and how we want to attack that before opening the floodgates on that. And yeah, like I said last time, you guys had quite a few patrons come and speak positively. I think that's the exact type of business we want. I'm inclined and want to believe that you will learn from these mistakes. But I will say that, if you break these rules again and get caught, I'm not going to have any sympathy in terms of going after the business license or anything like that. So I appreciate the presentation. I appreciate that you've built a place that people want to be at. And yeah, so those are my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Nasser.
Question for you, sir. I know I'm kind of new to this one, so wondering how many violations do they have so far since they opened?
I actually don't know the exact number off the top of my head. I believe Chief
Seems-
Atkinson shared some with.
It's like 3 or 5, I want to say,
There
right?
were a couple.
Somewhere around there. It was
There were a
it
couple
was
of code enforcement cases towards the beginning, and then I'm not sure if there were any police citations or anything.
is it on any of them what we issued the conditional permit on?
So, yeah, so some of them were related to condition number 1, the windows being not being covered up, and some of those were transparent. Some of those had been blocked early on in the construction, and then the hours of operation were initially when they were posted were beyond midnight, and so that had to be corrected as well. Off the top of my head, I don't recall.
I think there was a poker game in the back. So I was actually on council when we passed this, and from my memory, so they had blacked out windows at the front. They had a sign up in through the windows. They built everything without a permit. So we started the CUP and pretty much told them only beer and wine. We had to uncover the windows so people could see through. These were your hours of operation. No poker games, no coin operated machines. Chris, you might, and Gerald were on it too. That was pretty much the summary of what it was. And then when it came back to us, because they violated the CUP, I believe, they busted a poker game in the back. They had stuff blocking the windows. They were open later. They, yeah,
So they violated all 5 of the
Yeah.
conditions.
I believe that's correct. Right, Austin? From your recollection, I know code enforcement.
That sounds.
It doesn't sound good. And also I heard, I believe, former council member Steffi, she also said to remove the storage has been removed. I mean, that back room, it has been taken off, or
That was, I think it was a discussion item last.
was a discussion.
Yeah, and Chief's on the meeting if we need his input, if you want to bring him in. Chief, can you answer any of that? I know you got both sides of this with the police and the city. Here you go. Councilmember Nasser, Chief can tell you.
Yes, when we went out on June 19th, 2024, we went based on information from code enforcement then when they went out, and the hours were past. I mean, their hours that were put on the door were 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., I believe. So they sent us the information. We went out. We issued 2 citations for a violation of the conditional use permit, which was they violated condition number 4 by operating after midnight, and they violated condition number 6 by possessing 6 coin-operated gaming machines, as well as they were cited for gambling. There was a gambling. There was a private poker game being played in a back room that was locked. That was had monitors in there. So I mean, it it was a private poker game going on, and that was on June 19th, 2024. Code enforcement went back out on August the 10th. And they cited them at that time violation of the CUP, and I believe that was for staying open after midnight again. And the cases were adjudicated in our court on September the 30th, and they were fined $1,000 per citation.
Well, so far as I'm not very happy. I'm not thrilled about all those violations. I'm not sure. I mean, we already gave them immunity, but after that, still you guys broke the condition a few times. I don't have any more question.
Okay, thanks you, Councilmember Nasser. Councilmember Armistead.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I agree with Councilmember Ray that the hours of operation seem inconsistent with other similar businesses. So, if we were going to entertain this idea. I think I would be fine with the 2 a.m. I agree that everything's sort of in flux alcohol wise in that area, so I'm also fine with holding off on making a decision on that. Not that I want them to have to keep coming back. But I think it makes sense to wait for a larger strategy on that. It's hard to sit up here and give another chance after all those violations, but I also was really impressed by all the people that came to speak in your favor last time. That's great. Well, obviously we want successful businesses here, so I don't think I have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Henshaw.
I guess I have a couple back of house questions. For the ancillary, because this is an ancillary liquor license, do we require proof via receipts or anything like that about, a percentage of sales business being driven by alcohol versus the other business? How is that tabulated?
We do require gross receipts when they renew. I'm not sure if that includes
A breakdown. I mean, I guess we need to make sure that our rules are enforceable. We've talked about this in the past. That being said, there are businesses who I know have gotten around this by selling packets of crackers with their beer, and there's loopholes that you can kind of get around with. That was a pool hall. Not great. I'm sorry that Red Fox closed. That was a big pool hall. That was 12 tables, I believe, and it was pretty popular. I'm not sure why they closed, but yeah, I mean, I think I agree with Councilmembers Armistead and Ray that the liquor licensing and all that are arbitrary, but it's a business that only has 4 tables, and I find it hard to believe that you're not going to be making more money from alcohol sales than you would pool. So I don't know how we prove that this is a secondary to the primary license. In which case it's a bar. And we've talked about, allowing bars, and we haven't come to a conclusion yet on that. And it's probably something that is coming down the road. The courts are the courts. We stay out of the courts. That's council's job is to appoint judges and attorneys, and we don't weigh in on cases, and that's how it should be. So those are the decisions that they came to for whatever reason, and they chose not to revoke your CUPs at the time. I imagine that can be revisited at any time, although I don't know, again, staying out of the courts, I don't know how that works, but or how they would work that. But I mean, I'm personally in favor of granting this, but I also think that there's a good chance that you're just going to wind up having your CUP revoked for the past violations, if that, so that's all of that being said. Then I have another question, which is, if I remember the original plans, there were 2 bathrooms in the original plans, very much original plans. There's only 1 bathroom. By law, you're a group A3 occupancy, and you by law have to have a men's room and a women's room, and it's stupid, but that's the law. So I don't know if there were 2 bathrooms and one was pulled out at some point in time to make that back room bigger, or if that just somehow got overlooked. But I'm not in favor of having a back room that's lockable from a tournament standpoint. If you want to have a small area, that's one thing, or especially a storage room. But any business that has more than 15 patrons in it that's considered an assembly occupancy has to have 2 full ADA compliant bathrooms by right. So, and this bathroom that's there is actually smaller than is legally allowed by right already. So if you were to move forward, I would request that you make your business ADA compliant, which kind of by nature means that you're going to have to lose that back room, find a way to add a second bathroom in that's ADA compliant. That's federal law, and I have no interest in allowing that to be continued to be kind of skirted. So I don't know what that would look like, but if this winds up moving forward, I would make the request that the business be brought up to the proper standards. Based on the age of the business, it should be compliant with the most current codes, because the business is only 2.5 years old, 3 years old. So that's my 2 cents. Thanks.
Thanks. And Austin, with that being said, did we get a plan submitted on this, signed off during the application permit process?
Yeah, there was a permit. We were working backwards a little bit.
Okay, so we can look and see what their plan was to,
What was permitted versus what's there.
because I don't know, Cecil, if that's our job to require us more building, but we can at least check the plan that was submitted and signed and that they agreed to and make sure they built towards that plan, correct?
You could
So
cert,
it's unrelated to the CUP.
Yeah.
It is something that's related to the permits that were submitted. so
Right.
Look into that later.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, but I don't know if it's for this, yeah.
the only thing I would say is if you're considering the CUP, and in any sort of an expansion, I think it would be fair game to look at it and see if it was compliant, but really it's separate from the issues that are out there as far as permitting would be a separate issue.
Noted.
I have a question. If we ask as one of our requirements that they remove that back room,
Yeah.
then that's, we're requesting construction to take place. Is that acceptable to a variance on a CU or
I
a
think
My
you
next
could-
question.
sort of a
If
CUP?
you choose to approve it, you can absolutely ask for a modification, prior to them engaging in that.
Can we ask for
So is the
as well?
bathroom the same? That's what I was going to go
Does it
with.
fall under that, or is that a separate issue?
I think you probably could. I mean,
Okay.
I think you have a pretty broad scope of what you can ask for conditions to approve the CUP. And if it were bringing it into compliance, that would probably be an appropriate condition if that's what you chose to do.
Okay.
And I only bring this up for your welfare as a business, because there are people who make a living out of going to businesses and finding and suing businesses that don't comply with federal statute. So just keep that in mind.
All right.
Um,
Come up to them if you have.
Question. There is two. Then I just, he just pointed out it's not on there.
Okay.
Originally, he said so we got the full restroom, the unisex one, that, man and woman. And then on the side, there was a man's bathroom with two,
Yeah, 'cause I
Yeah.
remember the plan there was.
Yeah.
too.
It was, right?
It's not shown.
Okay, so it's just, this is the old plan.
It still doesn't meet code. It's
Okay, okay.
you can still get sued for that.
Okay,
And and I only know this because a friend of mine made a living renovating Waffle Houses to be compliant with the law. And he wound up renovating like 180 Waffle Houses because one guy sued and was gonna,
Oh.
so.
Is the bathroom, like for the men's restroom, right, just for my own personal knowledge so is it just because the space wise is too small, or is it?
They both, for whatever reason, the federal government says that both bathrooms have to be fully ADA
Yeah.
compliant. So just look at that as you go through and work this through. But you're just opening yourselves up to potential issues as business owners. And I don't want to see any business owners get, it's based on how old the business is, and the business is fairly new. So you're theoretically supposed to be compliant with all of the current ADA codes. So just look at that, keep that in mind as you move forward. And if that's something the council wants to add in, then so be it. But I just don't like businesses getting sued for
Thank you.
for something as simple as that is just not, it's not a good look for anybody.
Okay.
So.
Thank you so much.
All right, Council Member Evans, your turn.
Oh, thank you. I would prefer to see a track record of compliance before extending anything. I just think it's probably not the best practice to grant extensions of hours or licenses in addition when there's been a track record of breaking the law as it is. So a track record of compliance would be my recommendation for a set period of time, and then maybe circle back to us. As Councilmember Ray suggested, we have a pending entertainment district, so it could be something that could be reviewed within the next 6 months to 12 months. As long as you know that code enforcement will be back. So that would be my suggestion, just to kind of keep the status quo and come back to us. But I'm not in favor of moving forward with either direction if we have a track record of just blindly going past the compliance as is. That's all.
Thank you. Councilmember Henshaw has something else to add.
Two questions, one's for Chief and one's for Austin. Chief, was that the second round of citations, was that August 10th of this year, or August 10th, I'm sorry, of 2025 or of 2024? I forget that it's already 2026 sometimes.
2024.
Okay, so that was a year plus ago. And then with a denial, is it a 1 year to come back again, or 6 months to come back again if they decide to, if this gets denied, they can come back again?
It's at least 1 year, but let me double check that it's
Okay.
18 months.
And Chief, we've had no additional citations or complaints that you know of after the 2024, August 2024?
Not that I'm aware of.
Thank you.
I can tell you it is at least 12 months.
12 months, okay.
So-
All right, those were my two questions.
All right. So I guess, ask for a motion on this CUP.
It's 12. If it is denied.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, 2024 of September, I think, that's a little over a year of a good track record. It's not perfect. I'm not thrilled about the violations, but I would say I'll make a motion to amend CUP-23-05 so that the business can stay open till 2 a.m. like other billiards clubs, but not to change the alcohol license so that they are not able to serve liquor.
Okay, so, but it's 25-07 on this, talking about 2305, right? Or are we voting on
You're voting to
2507?
approve 2507, striking condition.
Yep. Okay. My apologies. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it is about 2305.
Yeah. So the motion is to approve 25-07 to allow them to stay open until 2 a.m., but not to amend the alcohol license.
Second that.
I'd like to add a friendly amendment that they make sure that they are compliant with the previous request of, no backroom, to remove that, either remove that wall or change that area so that it's no longer able to be used as a larger back room, and that they bring their bathrooms into compliance with state and federal laws.
All right, so I have a motion from Councilmember Ray to approve 25-07, striking item 4. A second from Councilmember Armistead with a friendly amendment from Councilmember Henshaw, adding in the verbiage to remove the back wall to make everything open and make sure your restrooms are ADA compliant.
They could have a storage area as big as they deem necessary, but not a room large enough for a
Well, shoot, you better give a dimension on that.
process.
Yes.
Because I'd say
So is
that
that enough of a
what's the bathrooms in
descriptor
there?
there? Or-
We say is that
leave off the story.
I would say that the back room be modified to a space not to exceed, we'd probably want to put a dimension on it. Or left open or modified to a space not to exceed a storage room space. Y'all would probably know that better than me.
8 by
And then second would be to bring all restroom facilities into compliance prior to being able to move forward with the new condition under the CUP. Mhm.
Sounds good. What Cecil said, and
How big is how big?
to put a dimension on the closet is 5x7 at most, personally. Because like any standard office, smallest is 10x10. You get by with 8x8, so I'd go with 5x7 for storage. Because they also have that kitchen that they already said they're storing it. They really said they don't need the storage closet unless they're storing liquor. So I'd rather come back for that modification, but that's up to council.
okay with 5 by 7 as
Okay, so we'll say with the storage closet of 5x7.
So accept the conditions, striking the condition on the sale of alcohol, including a condition.
No, striking the condition of the business staying open past midnight, not the sale of alcohol. Right?
Okay.
It was striking condition number 4
Is-
on the screen.
So we're going to approve this CUP striking condition 4 with the friendly amendment of removing the back wall so everything's open. Make sure the restrooms are ADA compliant and they're allowed a storage closet in the space that's 5x7 max
Yes.
with a 5x7 max.
an amendment, so I need a
And
second.
do we have a second? Well, right, because you gave the first. Now we need a second from Councilmember Nasser. God, you guys are putting me in the test.
So now you take a vote on the.
Yeah,
amendment.
no, I got that. So I guess now I'll call roll on the friendly amendment, and then I'll call roll on this, on the,
Sorry,
CUP.
I have one
any
One
more
question.
discussion?
discussion on that. I think we said ADA compliant. Could we change that verbiage to say code compliant so that because I'm unclear on exactly what the code is. You're saying it's ADA compliant. but-
Yeah,
Just turnaround radius for
it's
handicap.
just up to code, or however the right way to word that is.
State and federal code. is-
Yeah, I don't want us to over constrain it,
I'm
basically.
okay
is
with
what
that
I'm saying.
amendment.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So do I need to make a first and second?
So I would say let's vote on the amendment.
I know.
Move
We
back
got
to
to vote on Councilmember Ray's friendly amendment to the
You could.
friendly amendment.
You could.
All right, let's put that to vote.
That amendment.
Second. Friendly amendment from Councilmember Ray, second from Councilmember Henshaw. Let me call roll. Councilmember Armistead. Councilmember Evans.
No.
Councilmember Henshaw.
Yeah.
Henshaw, yeah. Councilmember Nasser. Councilmember Simmons, yes. Councilmember Ray.
Yes.
All right, that passes. Now we got to vote on the friendly amendment to the motion from Councilmember Henshaw. There was a first from Councilmember Henshaw and a second from Councilmember Nasser. So let me call roll. Councilmember Ray.
Yes.
Councilmember Simmons, yes. Councilmember Nasser. Councilmember Henshaw.
Yes.
Councilmember Evans. Councilmember Armistead. All right, now we got that. We will vote on the CUP now. Councilmember Nasser. Councilmember Simmons, yes. Councilmember Ray.
Yes.
Councilmember Henshaw.
Yes.
Councilmember Armistead. Councilmember Evans.
No.
Motion passes with the two friendly amendments. All right.
We'll walk you through that.
Yeah, we got you. In other words, long story short, you can stay open. You can stay open till 2 a.m. You cannot sell liquor. You still can sell beer and wine. You got to take down the wall to open up the back room and check with code on your restrooms. Long story short. We can talk about it later. We got to keep moving on.
Consult with an expert.
We got like 9 minutes. So next we have the nomination and appointment to the DeKalb County Women's Commission. So this, we were presented a nominee, I think, last month. And this is really a discussion to see if anyone wants to talk about it and nominate anyone, because we had 2 applicants, if you guys saw the email. And that's where we're going to go there. I'll leave it open. Councilmember Armistead, you have a nomination or discussion?
I don't have a nomination. Wasn't one of the applicants, didn't they not live in Doraville?
One applicant lived in Aspen Woods, so lives in Doraville. The other one does not live in Doraville. So we have one from Doraville, and the Women's Commission, this is to represent the city of Doraville. So we want the applicant and candidate to live in Doraville, preferably. So, and this was publicized and published on our website, social media, everywhere. So it was out there, and we had 2 applicants.
And the deadline is the 31st, right? So we still have a little bit of time. Like, do we have to decide tonight? Would you prefer that we decide tonight?
Cecil, Shantae?
As an agenda item, there's no reason it has to be decided tonight. You can make a nomination, but I think there was, and y'all, I think there was they wanted it by the end of a certain period of time.
Yeah, I'm about to look that up. But I'll keep looking that up. We keep moving on if that's all you had. But do you have a nomination that of someone you would like to vote for, just so we can?
If we're voting tonight, I would vote for the Aspen Woods, and I don't remember her last name. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I did see the application.
Okay, Councilmember Evans.
That's, I mean, I'm okay with that. That's fine. That one applicant that's ready to go. Sure.
Okay. Councilmember Henshaw.
I mean, I don't know if we're going to be getting any more applicants, and they need a decision by the end of the month. Is this something that council has to do, or can we kind of abdicate this decision making to the city and let the city decide if we get another applicant or 2 in, they can pick? City manager can use their best judgment on this, or is this a council
I
decision?
think this is appointment like that.
Then we've got one. So
Yeah,
go with the
Roseanne.
Doraville resident.
Roseanne Blakeney. That was her name from Aspen Woods. And she's retired from the ARC. Yeah, so Councilmember Nasser.
I'm good with it. We're gonna pick Miss Roseanne from Aspen.
And Crystal Salang is the other representative from close to Doraville, but not in Doraville. All right. Councilmember Ray.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we got 2 applicants. They both seem good. I'm in favor of Roseanne, I think, just being a Doraville resident and pushing the city, getting some Doraville representation out there.
All right. So I'm in favor of our Doraville resident Roseanne becoming our nominee. So I guess with that, do I have to make a motion? I guess we have to make a motion.
Nomination. and then-
With that is, I'd like to nominate Roseanne Blakeney to the DeKalb County Women's Commission to represent the city of Doraville.
I'll second that.
All right. Am I allowed to make a nomination since I'm mayor pro tem?
I think you're not the mayor, so I'm going to say yes.
Oh, dang.
Remember?
So, but presiding of the meeting, it's a legitimate question, but I think you can, yes.
Okay. So I made a nomination. Taylor second. Let me call roll. Councilmember Ray?
Yes.
Councilmember Simmons, yes. Councilmember Nasser?
Yes.
Councilmember Henshaw?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Armistead? Well, welcome Roseanne. She's our representative. So let me move to second item under new business. This is presented by Cecil. So go ahead.
And council, I've handed out to you right before this a plan sheet for the pad sites at the new city center location that specifically lays out a pad 2, pad 3, and pad 4 to substitute in for the one in your package, just for absolute clarity, to make sure we're clear on the pad sites we're talking about. If you'll recall, looking at the one in the package, the northeasterly pad site is a square, but remember we agreed that that would become a rectangle. So the one I've handed out shows that we're contemplating the pad site 2 as a rectangle, and the one I just handed out, and the clerk will get a copy of that as well. Okay. And at this point, what we're doing is as we've been moving through the city center planning process, you have the People's Building, which would be in the northerly portion, and I think it's been contemplated, mayor and council have weighed in on it, that there would be pad sites for retail restaurant to the Pin Corner to the northeast, and then southeasterly of there, a second site, and then to the west of that, not sure I'm southeast and west, but pad site 3, or the 3 pad sites we would be looking to put retail and restaurant into as we move forward in the future. Due to the nature of that business, we need to be able to enter into longer term agreements with the tenants in that, so they would be able to have more stability to, know that when they made the investment on the business, that they would have a certain period of time to recoup those investments. So it has been contemplated that that is a transaction that would take place at the level of the Downtown Development Authority. And to do that, we would need to move the pad sites into the Development Authority name. So at this point, what we're asking is basically to get approval to take the 3 pad sites, pad site 2, 3, and 4, and convey them to the DDA. What that'll allow the DDA to do is continue moving forward with finding tenants and seeking to put together those business arrangements. So in addition to City Hall, we'll have some more businesses around there to attract that type of, attract people to the site. Happy to answer questions, but it's something that in order to enter into the longer term agreements, you do have to have it into an authority, because the city can't enter long-term agreements like that. The city's limited pretty much to 1 year. And also the city, pretty much when they're transferring a real estate interest, has more restrictive rules than a development authority would have the ability to be more dynamic in attracting people to the site.
Well, thank you. We'll go to council discussion and just let everyone know Gary Sobel from Kaufman Capital is here, and Harold Shin, chairman of DDA, is here. So if you have any questions, they're more than welcome to answer as well. I'll start with Councilmember Armistead.
Thank you. No questions. This makes sense. I'm glad the DDA can finally start downtown developing. That's what they're charged to do.
Thank you. Councilmember Nasser.
I just want to clarify. So basically, we are giving the authority to DDA, right? So if city ever wanted to take it back,
It would depend on the nature of what had occurred. If nothing occurred on the property, it would probably be free to do that. There could be contracts or agreements put in place that would make that very difficult, and it might not be feasible down the road, just if long-term agreements were put in place that might prohibit that in the future.
Thank you.
And just to remind everyone listening and all, the DDA was appointed from city council and they are members here in DeKalb County and in Doraville. So Councilmember Evans.
Thank you. You said the city can't go past 1 year. What's considered long-term outside of that?
Generally, and Gary's better at that than I am, but I mean, for a restaurant, it depends a lot on the underlying agreement. But a typical restaurant, you know that better than I do.
I'm thinking, but
5-10 year lease.
Good evening, council and those listening. A traditional restaurant, to make the investment, you're looking at typically a 10-year lease with options to extend. It's a substantial investment that is can be well into the 7 figures. Could be several $1 million or more just on improvements. That's assuming someone delivers a building in place. If someone's building the building and doing the improvements in the inside, you're looking at even a significantly longer term.
or the renderings we've been presented with, like with the rooftops accessibility, is that still the plan for these pads?
So the renderings were examples, conceptual examples of what the properties could look like, should look like, that we've been planning for. But until we move forward, or the city moves forward, or the DDA moves forward, the plans are not, quote, locked in. What we've done is had a restaurant consultant take a look at, as well as an architect, the actual pads, which is why the top right corner, pad 2, I guess we call it, became a rectangle for the simple purposes of to have sight lines into the stage. They were blocked by the People's Building. But right now, all that is set on the properties are the pads, but advanced planning has been done of what conceptually these pads could look like, at least the 2 on Park Avenue. But to move forward with any kind of business deal, there's a lot more work to be done.
Thank you.
Sure.
Councilmember Ray.
Yeah, thank you. Really only question, I know there's not a hard deal in place or anything, but you're talking about, 10-year leases and such. With deals like this, are there mechanisms if the business does fail, the restaurant or whatever that moves in, so that it's not just an empty shell of a building? I know you can't speak about a specific deal here, but just generally in your experience.
So everything depends on the business terms. So ultimately, the terms that the DDA, if the pads are conveyed, those terms will control. If you're looking at a traditional, take the dirt and build your building on it, put a restaurant in it, you're looking at longer term lease. Really, technically, it's a ground lease. You're not leasing anything other than the rights to the ground, rights to the dirt. That can go on for significantly longer. It really comes down to the investment required. All of these terms are subject to whoever is representing the ownership of the property. If it transfers to the DDA, it would be the DDA deciding. But we're looking for, as on behalf of my efforts with the city, the right users, well capitalized, the ability to execute. You asked a question about recapture. Again, it comes down to the terms of the deal, but if you're representing, which I do, owners and landlords, both as a principal as well as consulting, yeah, you'd want the right if the building goes, quote, dark, meaning they're empty and there's no plan, you want the right to take control and put tenants in the building. But it all comes down to the business deal. And there's been no business deal struck. We're hoping to move forward as soon as we know who the counterparty is that can make proposals on behalf of the city.
Okay. And then
That answers your question.
it did. Thank you. And then I guess for Cecil, I've got sort of a comment I would like to make regarding a future deal. Is that allowed? It's not me directing the DDA or anything. I just kind of want to.
I mean, I think the mayor and council have looked at, visions on the site and all that kind of thing. And, certainly it wouldn't be a condition of conveying it across, but if you
No,
express something like that, it wouldn't be.
it's fairly ambiguous. I just want to make sure I'm
Your
not.
vision of what you like.
Yeah.
You're not
So,
directing anyone to do
For
it.
anyone watching, and I'm not an expert on the DDA or any DDAs in general, but what this does is it basically allows the city to start activating this space, start turning the downtown into what we want it to be without the city having to spend that money. It is a very good catalyst for that. It's why if you've gone to places like Chamblee, I believe Sugar Hill did a lot with their DDA, but it's why you see these cities kind of pop up their downtown a lot. I know we have Harold here. All I would say is just, when looking at prospective business deals, try to keep the long-term future of this site and the idea that if a business is not, we obviously want it to succeed, but we've seen businesses not succeed, and just making sure we have some sort of mechanism to still keep this space activated and keep it a very good community gathering place. So if we could keep that top of mind, that's my preference. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Henshaw?
Yeah, I had some similar piece of friendly advice or request. Since there's no longer a council member on the DDA, an active council member on the DDA, I would ask that any of the leasing funds be utilized by the DDA for either construction, maintenance, or programming of the downtown, and not necessarily even this parcel, but there are other parcels within the downtown, and just try to direct those funds back to the city. And I know there's other potential funding coming back into the DDA as well, but use the funds you've got. Do something with them. They've been sitting there for quite some time. It'd be great to just whatever they get used for, just to make sure it's the benefit of the city and the growth of the downtown. That would be my request. Other than that, I'm perfectly fine with transferring these and getting the ball rolling. And yeah, Sugar Hill did this, and a number of other cities did it, and you can see the growth that they've had. So it's great.
Well, thank you. And I'd just like to add that, of course, we're all human. We're not perfect. There are always what ifs, but we've hired Kaufman Capital to make these decisions for us. They are experienced at this. They've done this numerous times. We wouldn't have hired them if we didn't think so. So they are representing the best interest of Doraville. Since all of us up here are not the professionals at writing those deals, that's what they do. That's why we hired them, and that's why you hire people and pay money for them. So just want to let you know, I think we're in good hands personally. So with that, do I have a motion to waive first read? Correct, Cecil?
This one just needs to approve the resolution.
Ooh,
in the package.
okay.
That'll allow us to move forward with the real estate transaction. We'll
Sweet.
prepare the deeds, and
So
then
do
we'll
I-
have authority to sign the deeds.
So do I have a motion to approve this request of conveyance?
Motion to approve the request for conveyance as is.
Second? Do we have a second? Approval, motion made by Councilmember Evans, second by Councilmember Ray. Let me call roll. Councilmember Armistead? Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Henshaw?
Yes.
Councilmember Nasser?
Yes.
Councilmember Simmons, yes. Councilmember Ray?
Yes.
Motion approves.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dollar for dollar.
All right, we do not have any discussion items or other business, so I'll move right on to council comments. Obviously, it's going to be cold this week and a half. Yeah, this weekend is going to be real rough with the rain and the weather, so be careful. Playing some snow if it comes. Don't forget, ice always comes after. But February 28th, Healthy Pets DeKalb by Lifeline. We are doing that at Assembly. It's back by the New Orleans style building in that parking lot. We'll send information through our website and on social media. You still park in the parking deck. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. People always show up 7:30, start getting in line. Hopefully we have some good weather. But the same parking deck up front off Motors Industrial. You will come in off Motors Industrial, go park in the garage, walk down the street, see the beautiful scenery, take some pictures, post them on Instagram, and come get your dog vaccinated. Spay, neuter vouchers, rabies, distemper, parvo, free gifts. And if you're a nonprofit here in Doraville and would like to set up a table, please get in touch with Majira, because we want to get all that happening, and it's free. So come one, come all, any DeKalb resident. With that, I'll start with Councilmember Ray.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we had the Door Vision event yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And I would say it was a success, good turnout. A lot of people showed up, talked about, future ideas for parks, for sidewalks, for bike lanes, really the entire direction of the city. I do believe there will be more public events. I don't think they're set yet, but I think there's at least one more. But in the near term, if you missed that and you have thoughts or anything, please reach out, share them with us. This again is an event and thing we're doing that helps shape the direction of the city. We look at this plan as we make decisions. Future councils will look at this plan as we make decisions, and people who offer grants will look at this plan and see if we're following it as they make decisions. So it is a very important part for our city, even though it does go very long term, all the way out to 2046. So just wanted to put that out there and encourage anyone watching to reach out and get involved in that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Nasser.
I just got a question. Anybody else, about do we have any, warming centers? Okay. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, everyone, for, patiently listening to us. Weather will be very cold, could be more challenging for some people. I would ask, people who need a warming center or a shelter, please contact DeKalb County. I don't have the information handy, but I'm sure information out there. Thank you. Please be safe. Have enough food, water, whatever necessary means to stay safe. Please just stay safe. Weather could be out of our hand. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Henshaw.
I'm not saying this for anyone to come and offer me prayers or best wishes or whatever, but I lost one of my oldest friends to cancer this past week. He was only 47 and he'd been fighting cancer since he was 42. So go get a colonoscopy if you're of age, because it's a very easily preventable thing. And it's worth doing. Your loved ones will appreciate it, and you'll very much like the nap that you get from the propofol they give you. Other than that, yeah, it's cold. Stay safe. Grab some firewood. Don't go to the store and buy every roll of toilet paper. It's not that kind of storm, but just be safe. And if you need assistance, reach out. The police are here to help.
Thank you. Councilmember Evans.
Thank you. I had the pleasure to go to the DeKalb Housing Seminar yesterday, and the county has partnered with NACA as a partner to do a housing seminar starting tomorrow. So January 22nd through the 26th, it will be at the Gallery at South DeKalb. It's a major homeowner event. CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson also signed a document releasing several county properties available that they own for sale, which is major. So there's a lot of new properties on the market for sale. Interest rates are lower, and the NACA program is offering no down payment assistance, no closing costs, no PMI, no minimum credit score. So if you've been looking for property, January 22nd tomorrow through the 26th, there's a free housing seminar sponsored by the county at the Gallery at South DeKalb. It's a great opportunity.
Thank you. Councilmember Armistead.
Thank you. This is our last council meeting with Crystal Dawson, our esteemed assistant city manager. Crystal, I've worked with you in a few different capacities over the years in Nana and on the 150th and up here. And I just want to say, I might cry, that I've always just really appreciated your willingness to be here for the city. I feel like you must sleep here because you're always here, and you think outside the box, and you're always happy to jump in and help, and you will be sorely missed, and we wish you all the best luck.
Well,
Nothing.
so sweet. Thank you. And yeah, sorry, I was so involved trying to run my first meeting. I forgot. Yeah, Crystal, we're definitely gonna miss you. You were awesome, rock star. Whoever got you is gonna keep you. We know. So you're gonna do well. You're gonna go places. So congrats. And also, Cities United downtown Atlanta is canceled. If anyone's watching and going or listening, it did get canceled for this weekend due to the weather. And then also, I forgot to mention that DeKalb County Schools tomorrow from 6 to 7:30, there's a forum. It's called Forward Together Forums, where they provide an opportunity to share the key themes and insights from Dr. Sauce, who's our superintendent entry survey. We're engaged directly with our community and continue shaping the collaborative path forward to DeKalb County Schools. So there's only seating for 200 to 300 attendees. And tomorrow from 6 to 7:30, it is at Cross Keys High School cafeteria for anyone interested. And I guess with that, that concludes the meeting. I guess there's no executive session. So with that, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Second.
All right, motion from Councilmember Evans, second from Councilmember Nasser. Have a good night.
All in favor?
Oh, sorry. All in favor. Aye.